I mean, I take accountability for my actions, for what's obviously out there.
He was with me, begging forgiveness, telling me to take a moment, and he would see it, and we were meant to be together.
Wendy Williams is out for revenge, and this time, she's not holding back. Dive into the explosive details as Wendy takes on her ex-husband Kevin Hunter and his mistress Sharina Hudson in a high-stakes legal battle. From accusations of financial misconduct to scandalous secrets, Wendy's relentless quest for justice is a saga of betrayal, deceit, and karma. Kevin is scrambling to secure his severance payments while dealing with mounting financial troubles, and Sharina isn't far behind. Watch as we unravel the juicy details of this trauma-filled showdown that promises more twists and turns than a Hollywood thriller. Don't miss out on the shocking revelations that everyone is talking about.
I want to let people know that we still only human.
But as the saying goes, the truth is often stranger than fiction. Wendy Williams' relationship with Kevin Hunter was a roller coaster of emotional highs and gut-wrenching lows, playing out like a tragic opera over the span of more than 2 decades. From the very start, Wendy was drawn to Kevin's rough around the edges charm, describing him as the thug with a heart of gold. Kevin saw me. He loved the whole of me, Wendy once shared, reflecting on their early days. Little did she know that love would soon be tainted by a series of betrayals that would leave her shattered and fighting for her dignity.
Life, and I do want love in my life. I'm not desperate for anything, but what I am is a woman who feels very attractive.
Kevin Hunter's infidelities were no secret, not even to Wendy. I took him back, but I would never love him the same, she admitted, in a moment of raw vulnerability. When their son, Kevin Jr., was barely a year old, Wendy discovered Kevin's affair. Despite his promises to end it, the affair continued, eroding the trust that once formed the foundation of their relationship. Could it be that some men are just incapable of loyalty? Wendy pondered, adding to the myriad questions that swirled around her troubled marriage.
I'm very confident in my feelings towards Kevin initially, how I felt towards him in the middle, why it took me so long to divorce him.
Interestingly enough, Wendy's professional life was on an upward trajectory, even as her personal life was falling apart. She landed her own TV show and became a household name, all the while dealing with Kevin's continuous indiscretions. It wasn't long before Kevin's double life became glaringly apparent. He purchased a lavish home for his mistress, Sharina Hudson, in Fort Lee, New Jersey, a mere stone's throw from Wendy's own residence. The sheer audacity of it left Wendy reeling. Show me a woman whose husband moves his side piece into a home less than 10 miles away from yours, who doesn't start downing some wine, and I'll show you a liar, Wendy quipped, masking her pain with sharp wit.
And I'm like, but I'm still in love. I don't know what to do. Like, are you serious with this? This is really going down.
In a shocking twist, Wendy took matters into her own hands. One insider revealed Wendy was so fed up that she took a can of spray paint and tagged their garage with Kevin and Wendy forever, before gluing the mailbox shut. This act of defiance was a small victory in her ongoing battle against Kevin's blatant disrespect. The scandal reached its peak when Wendy learned that Sharina was pregnant with Kevin's child. The news came during one of Wendy's stints in a sober living facility, where she was grappling with her own demons. It was a crushing blow that underscored the full extent of Kevin's betrayal. You almost broke me, Kevin, but you failed, Wendy declared, her resolve steeled by the very betrayal that sought to destroy her.
What do you do when you find out your marriage is about to be all the way over?
This leads us to the question, how much more could Wendy endure before she finally broke free? The answer came swiftly. Wendy filed for divorce, a move that signaled the end of an era and the beginning of her reclamation of self. The paperwork's on your desk, she told Kevin, asserting her newfound independence. Because who I am puts food on your table, and honey. You will starve without me. As the dust settled, Wendy emerged from the wreckage of her marriage with a renewed sense of purpose. She took control of her show, publicly denouncing Kevin's involvement in her professional life. The middleman is gone, she proclaimed to a round of applause from her staff. Now I'm in charge.
Oh, he was with me, begging forgiveness, telling me to take a moment, and he would see it, and we were meant to be together.
As Wendy's career soared, her health began to take a troubling turn. Over time, Wendy Williams started showing signs of frontotemporal dementia and aphasia, leading to noticeable changes in her ability to communicate and manage her affairs. This decline was more than a personal struggle. It marked the beginning of her retreat from the public eye and the eventual end of the Wendy Williams show. As Wendy grappled with these health issues, she found herself increasingly under the control of a court-appointed guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, which only added to her woes.
This is the reality of what the world-famous Wendy Williams' life was under a guardianship.
Former daytime star Wendy Williams says she's out of cash.
Interestingly enough, while Wendy's condition deteriorated, her ex-husband Kevin Hunter and his mistress, Sharina Hudson, were busy wreaking havoc in her life. Kevin, who had been living off Wendy's money even post-divorce, began facing financial difficulties when her income from the show stopped. Reports revealed that Kevin had not worked for years, relying entirely on the alimony and a percentage of Wendy's earning from the show, which he had helped launch. But with Wendy's show off the air, the gravy train came to a screeching halt. In a shocking twist, Kevin went to court to enforce the spousal support payments that had been paused due to Wendy's guardianship. This is an emergent matter, Kevin claimed, citing his inability to pay bills and the financial strain caused by the halted payments. But this move backfired spectacularly when Wendy's guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, accused him of pocketing an extra $112,000 in spousal support, arguing that his payments should have been reduced due to Wendy's decreased income.
Sorry.
Kevin's demand for continued payments while Wendy was battling serious health issues was the ultimate betrayal. As the legal battles ensued, it became clear that Kevin's financial woes were more severe than he had let on. He admitted to being behind on his bills, including homeowners association fees, car insurance, and credit card payments. Despite this, the judge ruled against him, stating, "That's not Wendy's problem," and denied his request for resumed alimony payments. Meanwhile, Wendy's plight under guardianship drew unsettling comparisons to Britney Spears' conservatorship. Unlike Britney, Wendy's guardian was not a family member but a stranger with significant control over her life. Regina Shell, a longtime friend, voiced her concerns. This is worse than Britney's situation. Wendy's being isolated and controlled by someone who's not even family. As Wendy struggled to regain control over her finances and life, many questioned the motives behind her guardianship.
I'm just trying to understand, what, you pay her and she's your friend?
I pay her.
Okay.
This leads us to the question, is Wendy's guardianship truly in her best interest, or is it another layer of betrayal? According to producers of the controversial docuseries, Where is Wendy Williams?, the conditions under which Wendy is living are dire and worrying. The deeper we get into it, the more we realize how isolated and neglected she is, executive producer Mark Ford reveals. Despite these concerns, Wendy's family remains at a distance, unable to intervene due to legal restrictions. Interestingly enough, while Wendy battled health issues and legal constraints, Kevin and Sharina's comfortable life funded by Wendy began to unravel. The public backlash against them intensified as more details emerged about their reliance on Wendy's money. Social media buzzed with criticism, with fans urging Kevin to get a job rather than live off his ex-wife's earnings.
Always looked at me as like a enemy.
As karma would have it, Kevin Hunter's financial woes were only beginning. The mansion in Parkland, Florida, where he once lived a life of luxury with Sharina Hudson, had to be sold. Despite purchasing it for nearly $800,000, the $1.25 million sale price barely kept Kevin afloat as he faced mounting debts and legal troubles. He lamented in court, "I have fallen behind on most of my bills," painting a bleak picture of his finances. The lavish lifestyle funded by Wendy's money had come to an abrupt end, and Kevin found himself at the mercy of his creditors. Interestingly enough, Sharina Hudson, the woman who was once the center of Kevin's world, didn't stick around for long once the money dried up. In a move that left many shaking their heads, Sharina filed for child support against Kevin. It's ironic, isn't it? A fan mused, Kevin, who lived off Wendy's alimony for so long, now finds himself on the receiving end of a financial squeeze from his own mistress. The lawsuit thrust their tumultuous relationship back into the public eye, revealing the fragile foundation on which it had been built.
And I sacrificed a lot of myself to come out successful on the other side.
As the story unfolded, Kevin's situation grew increasingly dire. He was ordered to pay over $20,000 in credit card debt to UBS Bank USA, a debt he had ignored until it escalated into a default judgment. "I'm behind on credit card payments because I have no money," Kevin confessed, highlighting the extent of his financial desperation. His attempts to compel Wendy to resume alimony payments were dismissed by the court, leaving him with few options. The public watched as Kevin's facade crumbled, exposing a man who had squandered his resources and now faced the consequences.
Married for almost 22 years. We were together for 25 years. I don't regret the day of meeting him. I don't regret putting up with him for all 25 years.
Meanwhile, Wendy Williams, despite her ongoing struggles with health and guardianship, is far from defeated. She has rallied her legal team to challenge Kevin and Sharina's financial exploits. Rumors swirl that Wendy is preparing to file claims to recover the millions she has paid in alimony, alleging that the funds were misappropriated to support Kevin's extravagant lifestyle and Sharina's comforts. Wendy's ready to take back what's rightfully hers. A close friend reveals she's been through hell, and now it's her turn to fight back. The tables had turned dramatically. Kevin, once confident in his dominion over Wendy's finances, found himself bankrupt and unable to pay his debts. His plea for alimony was a stark contrast to the man who had once wielded power over Wendy's career and money. So, what do you think about Wendy Williams' relentless fight for justice against Kevin Hunter and Sharina Hudson? Do you believe Kevin deserves any sympathy for his current financial troubles, or is he merely reaping what he sowed? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay tuned and stay curious.